Hello and welcome to the Windows Active Directory Expert. Your expert is again here to teach you or to help you for the domain join issue, as I promised in the previous sessions, right guys? So let me show you the graph first, okay? And then I'll open my domain controllers and the server domain or server machine to help you with the domain join issue. So in the previous session, uh, I this server 2008 R2 was my additional domain controller. So just for the demonstration purpose, I demoted this server 2008 R2 machine. It was a graceful remove, but I promised you to show the metadata cleanup as well if in case your server itself is dead. Okay, I mean due to hardware issue or something, your server is dead, and in those scenario, how would you be able to clear the metadata of the object details that another domain controller still has, and they still report the error in the wrap admin space slash ripple sum. So remember, just take a screenshot of this command. It is very important command. So this command is basically pull the entire domain controller replication information. Okay, so there are other commands as well which I would be covering in the replication sessions. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, now I got the same uh, lab today to demonstrate you. So I have this server 2008 R2 today. So server 2008 R2, which is my client, I would say a server which is in work group, and the another domain controller machine which I have, that is on server 2012 R2. So what I'm going to do is, like in the server 2008 R2, I will try to join this machine with the domain which is the contoso.com. So if I'll mention over here is contoso.com. So this is my forest contoso.com. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to join the server 2008 R2 machine to the server 2012 R2, and to reproduce the problem I would be putting the wrong password, and then I'll bring you to the debug label analysis and the troubleshooting. So hope you understood. So let me jump into the server. So this is my Windows Server 2012, which is the single domain controller in my environment at the moment. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to switch to the server 2008 R2, and let me try to log in this machine real quick. So this machine is currently in a work group. It's not in a domain. It's not a domain join. So how would you identify that? So click on the start button, go to computer, right click here, go to properties, and so here the system informations will appear on the screen. So here you have not only the domain join, but other information is also available over here, like the system configuration, like what type of uh, processor you have, how many RAM you have allocated for this particular machine, type of operating system, and if you go to the computer name, domain and work group setting, you can see the computer name is WinADC01. Computer full name is same as the computer name, and the computer description, the work group is in, this machine is in work group. So to join with the domain controller, you click on the change settings. Here you got the option, and once you click on the change setting, on the computer name itself, click on change. So here you can see the computer name, the domain, the work group. So if you wanted to change the computer name, then you can type in the computer name and then click on OK. So it will change the computer name from here, from this option. So currently we are not interested to change the domain controller name. We are interested to join this machine to the domain controller. So type here contoso.com. So as soon as you type your domain controller name and click on OK, so it will pop up you the credential screen. Okay, so here you have to type the credential which is having the domain join privilege. Okay, so type the domain administrator account. So type in the password. So let me do one thing just to reproduce the problem. Okay, I'm going to type some bad password over here. Let's wait. Okay, so here I got the error which says the unknown username or bad password. So the error could be any, right? But what we are concerned over here to understand or how we could do the debug label troubleshooting. So suppose you got some XYZ error over here while joining this machine to the domain controller. So what you need to do now is like click start, go to computer, go to C drive. So there is by default logging which is available in every Windows, Microsoft Windows, just keep in mind. So go to Windows and check for debug. So better you take a screenshot, click on debug, and here you find the net setup. Okay, so click on net setup, go all the way down. Okay, so here you can see, so net pdc get dc name return 0x0 and return 1326. Okay, and the error, the domain join error which we are getting is 0x52e. Okay, so how would you identify whether what is the issue over here for while joining this machine to the domain controller? All right, so here fail to find a DC having account this. Okay, perfect. So we are interested to go with this domain join issue, join error. Okay, so copy that, go to Google, type in the same error and go to all and look for the domain join issue. So open any one of them and look for the error. So here you can see I got 1326 error as well on the above of this error. Okay, if you see somewhere, look this error 1326. 1326 means this is bad credential. Okay, so this is the bad credential. So you pick the error in the bottom of the debug, I mean in the bottom of the log, right? Always refer the bottom of this sheet. Okay, you would be able to see the appropriate error. So here net join domain status connecting to DC got 0x52e, but net join domain DS function exists with status of this. And if you go to an above line which is net use add to this server, this is my domain controller, and IPC $return 1326, which is the bad credentials. So you can, the same way you can check for the appropriate error in the net setup file and go in the Google and search for that appropriate meaning of that particular error, right? This is not something uh, easy for you to remember each and every error in your brain, right? This is so tough. So the best part is like you check for the error over here, go to Google, type in the meaning of that particular error that you're getting, and then accordingly you take appropriate approach to resolve that particular issue. So now we understood like there is something misspelled or there's something wrong with the credential. So what we will do, we'll close this, we'll again close this, we'll click on the OK because we did it intentionally, right? We did this intentionally. So let's type in the administrator account and then password. Now this time this machine should join with the domain controller. Look at this. So click on OK. Let's not restart this. I wanted to show you one more thing. So if in case of domain join issue, so suppose you are unable to join the machine with the domain controller. So that one log which I showed you, you have to refer the net setup logs. And apart of that, how you can check the other way around. When I'm saying other way around means what else you can check. So type in the CMD. Before joining the machine, you make sure that this machine is reaching to your main domain controller or the domain controller wherever you wanted to join the machine. So I type in the IP address of my main domain controller, which is this. Okay, I'll show you the IP address of this machine. If I go here IP config, so you can see this is my domain controller IP address. Else you can do one thing. If you don't know the IP address of the domain controller, so you simply type ping and then type the FQDN of your domain controller, which in our case, in mine case, this is contoso.com. So you can see here, right? So you can see like your domain controller is reachable from this machine. And what else you can do? So there is a great integrated command tool, which is nl test /ds get dc and then colon, then your domain controller name. I mean the FQDN name. Okay, type in. So this command is used for the DC discovery. Every time when you start your machine, when you access the share, when you access the web services, this process is always carried out in each and every time. Okay, when I'm saying in each and every time, suppose this machine is refreshing the group policy, right? Just like you typing the gp update /group gp update /force. So this command is to update the group policy forcefully. Okay, suppose you did some changes in your domain controller and that changes is not being applied to this machine, so you can run the gp update /force to refresh your policies, okay, and apply to this machine. So when I click on the group policy update force, so in the backend what happened is, like in the backend, this machine will run the DC discovery, look for the nearest domain controller in the environment, and then check for the attribute, the GP link attribute. There are two attributes for the group policy that I will be covering the group policy session. So for now, it is good to know like what this command does and how DC discovery works. Though I would be covering the DC discovery in separate session, so you don't worry, I would be helping you with the entire flow of the DC discovery. So before joining to the domain controller, you always make sure that your machine is discoverable, your domain controller is discoverable in the environment, your domain connectivity is fine, and then go and try to join the machine with the domain controller. If even though you are getting the same error or the different error, means even although you're having the good connectivity with this machine to the domain controller, your DC discovery is working fine, and and there is no as such issue with the connectivity with the domain controller. But even though you are getting the error, so in those scenario, the locks which I showed you, the debug label lock, go to Windows and then go to debug and then net state, net setup. This is the lock that you can refer for a better understanding, or for a specific error message that you're getting while joining the machine to the domain controller. You pick the error from here and search for the appropriate answer. So your approach would be like this. Always keep in your mind, like whenever you are doing any troubleshooting in the Active Directory, since I don't know about the other technology, but it should be applicable for other technologies as well. Always start from the basic. When I'm saying basic, means if you're getting the error while joining the domain, you suppose not to directly jump into this debug level logging, debug analysis. You suppose to check your basic thing first. When I'm saying basic thing first, check for the reachability of this machine to the domain controller in the environment. Check for the DC discovery of this machine to the environment, and then go to the logging and dig into it and look for the appropriate error message under the net setup. So thank you very much for your time. Once again, thanks for coming to this channel. So in the next session, today itself, I would be covering the metadata cleanup, in which I'll show you like what I would be doing and what I will be covering in the next session. So let me demonstrate you real quick. So this is a kind of mine forest, which is contoso.com, which is contoso.com. Okay, so hope you all are familiar with this name now. So I got the same environment. I got one DC which is server 2008, server 2012 R2. It's 12 R2. Okay, which means server 2012 R2. So it's a short form 12 R2. And the another machine which I got is server 2008 R2. So it's 2K8. We called in short 2K8 for the server 2008 R2, or for the server 2008. Okay. So what we would be covering in the next session, like I will promote this domain controller first. I will promote this machine as a domain controller first, and then I will shut down this machine in the VM, and then I will show you the error, the kind of error we would be getting in the replication rep admin space slash REPL summary. Okay, so I would be showing you the error which will be reported after the server 2008 is completely down, and then I would be carried out the metadata cleanup. There are two ways of doing metadata cleanup. The first one itself is from GUI, and the second one is from the command. Okay, so I would be covering these two concepts, these two ways, so that it will be a kind of helpful in your environment if you get that kind of scenario, or you meet that kind of scenario in the environment. So thank you very much once again. If you are new to this channel, I would kind of encourage you to go ahead and subscribe, like this channel, and share this channel with someone who really needs your help and wants to in scale up in the Active Directory. Thank you once again, and have a great day ahead, guys. Cheers. And if you have any sort of question, query, or any clarification that you want, or any doubt that you have, so note down my email address, which is sing, it's sing, V-I-V-E-K, Vivek. Oh, sorry. So there is a space. Vivek, numeric 831 at gmail.com. So either you type your query in the comment section or email me on my email address, which is singvivek831 at the rate gmail.com. So as and when I get some time, I will explain or put the justification or the appropriate answer for you guys, so that I mean you would be clear with your doubts. Thank you once again, and please don't forget to subscribe this channel, so that as and when I'll upload the another video, another session, you would be notified for that. Okay. So have a great day ahead, guys. Take care of yourself and your family members. Cheers. Thank you.